So I just started the recording. Let's go ahead. So in the today's session, we will be discussing an introduction to the new technologies and what is HANA, why it came into existence, and what is S4 HANA, and why you need to learn S4 HANA, and the certification help, the generic, whatever you need, the queries you have. So I'll be answering all those things after the discussion. Okay. So first, to start with, let me show you the course content. I hope you guys have gone through the course content, but let me show you once again the course content. So this is the course content, what I will be covering. So this course content is more than the certification, whatever the certification S4H01, SLG01, and SD01. Whatever certification has, it's little more than that. Okay. So we will be covering the complete introduction and the UI part, the FIORI, and what is the Activate methodology, that is a new implementation, what approach you should take. The new Activate methodology, Agile methodology has come and overwritten this particular earlier SAP methodology. We'll be discussing this, and we'll be also discussing the conversion projects and what are the tools SAP has provided for the migration and the migration can't wait. A little introduction on the SLT, and we'll also take a real-time business case. I'll take one BBP from a project and I'll explain you all those things. And we start with enterprise structure. See, there is certain things are delta changes and certain things are exactly what's there in the ECC. You know already. It can be enterprise structure. Enterprise structure is the same. It's nothing changed there. But as we are discussing, it's like a greenfield implementation. Let's start from the scratch so that you'll have a nice catch. So enterprise structure, then after customer master completely has been changed to business partner. We'll be discussing complete business partner and CVA integration, customer vendor integration. Material master, yeah, there was some significant changes in material master. The length of the material number and material ledger now came into existence and it's a mandatory. See, certain things that are there in the SAP ECC, business partner, it's nothing new concept for SAP. Okay, but in S4 HANA, it's a mandatory. We have business partner in the ECC, but we never used it at that time. Same, material ledger, we have it in ECC, we never used it. Why? Because it's optional, but now in the material master, in the S4 HANA, it's a mandatory. And we'll see some good FIORI apps, how to create this front end CMIR, or how to create purchase order, how to run some reports. Okay, and the tables coming to the sales. Okay, so some 28 tables has been boiled down and made it as 2 tables, right? I hope you might be knowing that ACDoc and MadDoc, right? It's not only sales what we are covering here, we're also covering a little procurement as well. Okay, so coming to the procurement, we'll be seeing that MRP Live, we'll be discussing PPDS, which has been brought from the APO module, and now it was part of embedded analytics, embedded EWM, right? So many things has been brought on from different modules and made it as mandatory now in the S4 HANA. So roughly it would be taking some 25 concepts. This is only just I'll give you the documents anyway. Yeah, roughly some 23 to 24 concepts what we'll be covering here. Certain things are only theoretical, but because we don't have system will not support us to even practice, see that in the system. Okay, the IDA system will not support us at least. Okay, so certain things like say Ariba integration, we cannot get the access of Ariba. So it's just an overview, but I'll give a good document for you to understand what the supplier collaboration concept, and what is Ariba integration, and why you need Ariba now. Okay, but MRP live or ATP, these all things will run in the system and we'll see how it really works. Okay, so this is roughly the complete course content of what we would be discussing. So the duration, as I already mentioned, it would be 6 weeks. Per day it is 2 hours. So 12 classes, roughly 24 or 25 hours training. Maybe it may extend up to 30 hours. So 25 to 30 hours you can put it up in between, right? So this is what the course content and the timelines of the training for the S4 HANA. So now maybe you all guys might be inclined towards the certification as well. You need to write certification, right? So I'll also give a little bit of introduction to certification, how I'll be helping you and what documents I'll be providing and how you should prepare for certification. Let me give a small introduction for that. See, SAP itself has released a document how to prepare for the SAP S4 HANA certification. Okay, it's called as SAP Study Guide for Certification Help. Okay, so study guide. In this, SAP has mentioned every topic what you need to concentrate. See, the certifications are like this. These are the 3 certifications available now. That is S4H01, which will talk about business suite on HANA with the delta changes, and S4LG1 talks about the innovative logistics. That means what has been brought up, the PPDS demand planning, which has been brought up, and extended warehouse EWM, embedded EWM, whatever it has been brought up here. And S4SD1, which will talk about lots of order fulfillment functionalities and these all things related to the sales. So 3 broad it is categorized. See, out of the 100% of the certification, this will cover only 40%. Okay, this will cover only 40%. But what about this other 60%? Your other 60% doesn't change. It is ECC. You remember in the ECC certification you have TSCM 60, 62 underscore something, 65, 66 like that. That is all 60%. Okay, and this is only 40%. Okay, the delta changes is only 40%. Rest everything is your that particular. Yeah, you see TSCM 60, TSM 62 underscore, whatever you learned at the time of SD, it is 60%. 40% is the new delta changes, which comes with this certification documents. That's nothing but these 3 documents. These 3, right? And SAP also has given the weightage. That means for every topic, what would be the weightage? It has clearly given like what is the unit you need to go for. I'll also show you the weightage by percentage. Okay, by percentage, SAP has given weightage for every topic what you need to focus on. Basing upon that, you can put some more effort on certain topics where there would be some 6 questions covered out of the 80 questions in the certification. Okay, so this is the study guide. I'll be sharing the study guide so that you can practice for this certification as well. And apart from this certification, let me show you the certification questions, how it looks. I'll be also giving 1 or 2 solved papers of the certification so that it will help you easily to understand how the certification, it's like a simulation. Okay, so you can easily understand and go and write certification so that you are already used to and you have seen the pattern, how it looks. So to show you, so I'll be sharing these all documents. So whatever I've shown you now, S4H01 or S4LG1 or S4SD1. So these all things I'll be sharing with you, and you can see the model paper, how it will look. So these are the these are the 80 question, whatever the certification exam you've seen for the SD module or any other module. It's the same kind of thing. So you can see the question and with the multiple choice options. Okay, so how it works, and you'll also be seeing a solved question paper. Okay, I'll give you, that means So some 80 questions has been already solved, so that you'll get an idea how the questions will look and how you should answer. So it's like a simulation before you take the certification. Okay. So I'll be providing this certification guide incomplete. Okay. So which will help you to get certification, right? Apart from this, as you know, if I start a training, I'll come up with all the materials needed. To any extent, like what are the documents you need. It's not just to start your career, but even after 5 years of your career, you can use the same documents. Even for this S4 HANA, it's the same thing. You can see for every concept, you name a concept, I'd be giving you a document. You embedded analytics or embedded EWM. You name a concept. What are the 25 concepts we discussed? I'd be supporting with a FIORI. FIORI will come with some nice document. So everything, whatever we'll be discussing, it will be supporting with a complete config document and as a document which will make you to understand all the concepts. Okay. So you'll get all the study materials. So let me show you. Yeah, anyway, you'll be seeing that. I'll show you. So I'll show you the FIORI, the complete study material, how it looks, so that you'll get an idea. Okay, anyway, I'll show that. I'll show you all the documents at the end of this class. But let us get into the actual subject now. Yeah. So first, to start with, what's about HANA and why you need HANA, or what is this S4 HANA? Why HANA has come into existence? What made SAP to think in the side of HANA and why it has made it materialized? So before going to understand what is HANA, first let's take some or let's dig in deep into the history of SAP and learn what exactly happened in the last 40 years. Okay, so that you'll be constructively understanding why the technology has been drastically changed and why SAP also has taken that leap and now it has released a new business suite called as S4 HANA. So to start with, first let's see the complete SAP's journey, which has been started from 1972 or 79. So if you see this image, SAP was first, it was a standalone system which used to run on mainframes. That was the R2 version, and that was in the 1972, and it was only present in 2 countries with 60 employees. This is what SAP in 1972 with a standalone IBM mainframe system. Then after, in the 1992, they have introduced a major change in the product, that is client server architecture. That is R3. We used to call it as real-time three-tier architecture, where we have a presentation layer, application layer, and we have a database layer, right? So we also discussed this in our SD training as well. I hope you might be remembering that. So there was a major code line change here. The programs has been rewritten and it made to work with the client server architecture. And this was the benchmarking product of the SAP. Then after, when the internet revolution has come, they have taken the internet revolution so that it can be integrated and connected through web applications and other things. So let me also show you that how it has been changed. Here you see, when it was in 1960s and 70s, it was only IBM mainframes. Then after, PCs has been introduced by Microsoft in early 80s. And 2000, when the web has come, and these all companies you can see, Even SAP also has to be integrated with lots of other external components. So now they have released a version called as the structure was on mysap.com at that time, right? Then after they have moved to SAP ERP, which is ECC, and then the present version of ECC, what we are using, that was the EHP, ECC 6.0, and EHP 7.8 was also released, right? If you observe, and the ECC 6 was released somewhere in the 2006, right? If you observe, from 1992 when the R3 was released and until 2006, this particular ECC, there is nothing code rewritten here. You see, there is a first code rewritten. The code line has been, the programs has been rewritten when it was changed from the standalone system to client server architecture. And from that day onwards, it's been more than 30 years, right? So it's running on the same code line, which was developed at the time of 92 or early 80s. The technology what is available at that time, the database whatever is available at that time, to suit for that situation, they have written these things, and that was continuing till another for 20, 25 years or 30 years, right? So now SAP has come up with HANA, first the database, then after they have tried it with BW, it was success. Then after they tried it with finance, it was success. Then after they have come with the enterprise, that is S4, that is S4 HANA, where you see logistics and finance sitting in the same box. That was in the 2015, right? But why SAP has come to HANA? Why can't it continue the same ERP? Okay, you see, it was running for last 20, 20, 25, 30 years. Why can't they run the same thing? Why they have rewritten the complete code lines, the hundred thousands of lines of the programs, and why they have come to S4 HANA? What made SAP to think in that way? I'll take a simple example. Say suppose you take 10 people, 10 people carry each, everyone has their own mobile. 10 people, everyone has their own mobile. And today, every mobile has at least 64 GB of data, right? That means we ourselves, knowingly or unknowingly, we are carrying lots of data, right? So 10 into 64 GB, that is 640 GB, just 10 people were carrying, right? We never think in that way, right? We never think in that way. So the data explosion was so huge from early 2000. Early 2000, the data explosion was huge because of the internet, because of the mobile phones, and lots of things. The data explosion was huge and huge. So when the data is huge, retrieving the reports are getting tremendously tedious. So now SAP want to address it. I'll simply take one some simple scenario of a generic banking example and explain you how tedious it was and what made SAP to think in this way. So early 80s, let's take early 80s. Okay. So what are the SAP, the R3, real-time three-tier architecture, whatever we are discussing with the three layers. One is application, presentation layer, and application layer, and uh, the database. This was developed on the basis of the databases whatever available in the 80s, right? At that time, there is no much of technology innovations or any hardware innovations, right? And at that time, they don't even think that data would be such a massive thing in the coming years, because in the early 80s there was no internet, there are no smartphones, nothing, right? So they don't even think that the data would be such a important component and it will explode like this. So it was a developed in the row and column, the fashion what it was at that time. So I'll take a simple banking example to explain you why SAP should give a thought on coming to HANA and why it has really materialized it. So let's take a bank. Let's say in the bank they have 100,000 customers, and the transactions each customer per month is say 1,000. Okay, per month every customer is doing at least 1,000 transactions. So how the database was at that time, it used to have a header table and it will have a transaction table, right? So if I want some report or a record, what I should do? System first go to a header, pick the header, whether it can be a customer, then it go to the transaction, and then it picks that particular customer's records from this transaction data and displays it to you, right? See, nowadays it's okay, you can get your bank statements online. Just imagine some 15, 20 years bank, if a company like Reliance or a Tata, if they need a financial year bank statement, it may take some days for them to take that the printout, whatever, to get the fetch the report, right? Because simple calculation. If I want a report, say I want a 10 records, then what I need to do? I need to go through first all this 100,000 customers into 1,000 transactions, whatever it is. Maybe how much data I have now? Say at least close to 1 billion records, right? So let's not get into the maths, but I'll take it to the figure as 1 billion records. That means I'm asking some 10 records from this 1 billion records. So in the R3 architecture, where you have a presentation layer, application layer, and database. So you queried, so in the presentation layer, you're asking, I need 10 records for say X customer. Okay. So then application layer, what it has done, it has queried for the 10 records in the database. 10 records in the database of 1 billion records. Got it? 10 records out of this 1 billion records. How much time it will take? Maybe hours, right? So once it has found the 10 records from the database, it comes to the application layer. If you want to do some calculations, you apply logic here, do some calculations, and then you give it to the presentation layer. In this complete transaction, what is the productive time? Okay, what is the productive time? That is, user has asked for 10 records and application layer has started to find out the 10 records, right? And submitting that report, let's assume that this has taken say 2 minutes, and submitting the records to the user taken 2 minutes. That means productive time was only 4 minutes. Rest of the time, what you're doing, you are just searching these 10 records in this 1 billion records, which may take sometimes 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, hours of time. So your resources are getting wasted here, right? And your data is not real time. By the time you take the report, it has already gone. That means you are just doing a post-mortem on it. It's not a live data. Whatever is happened, you are just taking that report and doing post-mortem on this. You cannot take a live decision. Why? Because the data was not even close to the real time. So this is one issue made SAP to think. Why? Because customers are complaining, saying that SAP is slow. Is really SAP slow? Anyone? Is SAP, see, SAP sits here, right? SAP sits above to this. SAP is mounted on databases, and this database belongs to third-party vendors. It's not SAP's, right? It can be Oracle.
Yeah.
It can Oracle, or it can be IBM, DB2, any other databases. It's not there in hand, right? So asking for some information, querying it and calculating and giving it, it's taking hardly 4 minutes or 5 minutes. But searching the data in the database was taking tremendous of time. And customers are saying that SAP is slow because they don't know this particular what's happening technically here. This is one reason made SAP to think towards HANA. Okay. So now let's extend the same example how SAP has tweaked this R3 structure to make it faster. Okay, because see, we cannot get a drastic change in one day or with one production, right? So first, SAP has started tweaking this R3. So how it has done? Let's extend the same banking example so that we can better understand it. So I'm taking the same R3, or else I'll do one thing. I'll take this example from, that means the image from my SD training, as you already seen that, so you'll be very familiar. And for discussion also it will be good. Yeah, let's discuss on this so that it will, this looks very good, right? Yeah. So now what SAP has done, they started tweaking this R3 structure. So first what they have done, or else I'll extend the same banking example so that you'll better understand. Let me show you the same scenario with the tables and fields. We have presentation layer, application layer, and database. Okay, so you increase memories, whatever it is, or the database might be terabytes, and your RAM memory might be GBs. Okay, but what happens here technically is whatever the 1 billion records we're talking about, that was put into database, right? That means let's take a financial example. That is, whatever the transactions you post in the financial, it will be updated into the BK, PF, and BSEC, right? BK, PF, and BSEC header tables and line item table of the billing doc, FIs, right? Let's assume that this BKF table was holding a billion records. Okay, in the database, this BKPF table was holding 1 billion records. So what you're doing, your user in the front end was asking for some report. Application layer started querying that to the database, asking for the 10 records. So now system has started the 10 records in this 1 billion records of BKPF table, right? So once the data is found, then what it's doing, it's giving the 10 records, and 10 records is presented to the user. The similar thing. So it may take 2 minutes and this may take 2 minutes. The productive time was hardly 4 to 5 minutes, but the time wasted here was close to hours because of this searching 10 records in a 1 billion records, right? So now what SAP has thought is, see, at that time when SAP has developed this R3 architecture in the early 80s or 90s, as I told you, there was not much hardware innovation, or you don't have this technology innovation at that time. Memory was very, very, very expensive. Even though it's expensive, high memories are not available, right? Initially, what is our laptop processors or our internet speeds, right? And hard drive, hard disk. The database storage started from MBs to GBs, now terabytes, now petabytes. My laptop can store 1 terabyte. My mobile phone can store 1 terabyte today. And my mobile phone has 6 GB RAM. Some laptops also, they don't have 6 GB RAM, they still run on 4 GB RAMs. And there was no concept of multi-core at that time. There was no concept of parallel processing at that time. right? So this database, whatever SAP was using in early 90s in the architecture of R3, that was developed at that time without all these innovations or hardware, whatever the requirements you need, right? But now memory is equal to your storage. Okay, so now you can get memory in terabytes, right? So if your hard drive is 1 terabyte, your memory also you can get up to, like say, 128 GB or whatever it is. That means comparatively in the early 90s and after 2005 or 2008, the memory cost was very low. At the same time, the memory was so huge. They were in GBs, they were in terabytes. So SAP has taken that advantage. So what is the first move SAP has done? That is, why to store data in the database, which was slow? Why can't we move this data to memory? Okay. Why? Because your logic is here. Your logic is here. If your database is also available here, you don't need to go here, right? Everything would be done in the application layer itself, and immediately the report would be published to the user. So SAP has started thinking that way and taken the advantage of these hardware innovations and whatever the memory available today. So up to what memory you can have today, that is 12 terabyte of memory is available. Terabyte. Okay. So 12 terabyte of memory, you can have it in your systems today, that is in the servers, with at least 188 CPU cores. See, one core is one CPU. That means earlier, only one process used to be done by only one core. I'll tell you that example also. If say one person is doing some job, if it is taking 1 hour, simple maths what we learn in our college or in the schooling. If five people do the same work, in how much time we will finish it? That's the same logic with the CPU cores. That means one simple work will be distributed to multiple cores. You might be also listening, right? Dual core, quad core, hexa core. That is the core. That means this chunk of work, suppose I want to run a report of a bank. January report will be handled by one core, and the other core takes February, and other core takes March, like this. That means, so if you have only one core, first you need to finish January, then come to February, then come to March. But now, parallelly, you are going through all these things. That means it has come to 1/10, right? 1/10. If it take 1 hour earlier, it will come to hardly in minutes now, right? So this is what SAP has done, and it has moved this this database into the memory. And this concept is called as code pushdown. Code pushdown, and moving this database into memory is called as in memory. This is what the terminology you might be frequently hearing. SAP is a in-memory database. What is in-memory database? That is, a copy of your data is stored and available within the reach of the logic. Okay, within the reach of the logic. Okay, so what data, we will again discuss that. The data is again segregated based on the temperature, like say hot, warm, cold. We'll discuss that thing. So coming to the code pushdown, let me show you something so that you'll better understand what I mean about code pushdown. Yeah, this is what the code pushdown. If you see here, earlier, this is how SAP used to work. That means you have calculation on the top in the application layer, and you have the database here. That means data to code. First get the data and apply the code, the logic, whatever you have. But now it has been inverted. What is the inversion? Code and logic has been putting at one place. You see the round trips between the application layer and database layer. You see the round trips. Now there is no much round trips. That means the round trips has been significantly reduced when you come to HANA comparing to the RDBMS, because the code and logic was put at the same place. So now it is code to data. Wherever the data is there, take your code to that. That's it. You don't need to get the data, then apply the code. So because of this, the processing or retrieving the data has become so fast. So how much? So how fast? Thousands of times. Sometimes it can be 10,000 times that fast. So let's go back to the same example. So as we discussed, what is the code push down? So taking the logic and the data at the same place and putting your memory here. This is called as in memory. This is what SAP synonym. Whenever someone say what is SAP HANA, obviously they say it's a in memory database. So apart from this, SAP has done some more changes. What's that? It has changed from row store to column store, parallel processing, mobility, lots of terminologies you will be seeing. So this all things has in combination, the final product was HANA, which was a successful and so fast product. Lightning speed. So now let's discuss how this column store will help against the row store. Why SAP has so success in that, retrieving the data. So what is the difference between column store and row store? See, the same banking example we are talking about, say 1,000 customers in a bank. That means you need to have the data to be stored in the rows and columns earlier, right? Say customer number 1, customer number 2, customer number 3, customer number 4, and all the data of the customers, like say what the transactions they are doing, everything. That means if I query to get something, system has to go to every column field and search all the 1 billion records and get the 10 records. But coming to the column store, you will store data in columns. That means you will have 100,000 columns here. If I ask system getting some data from the customer number 4, you don't need to go for 1, then next to 2, then next to 3, then next to 4. You don't need to go this sequential. It will directly go to the column number 4, that is customer 4, and get whatever the data you want from here. You see how fast it is now comparing to this, because it is bypassing lots of steps here. So this is what the column store versus row store. Is row store completely removed from SAP? No, row store is still there, but column store is also there. How SAP has got this advantage of column store? You know, Sybase? Sybase was a database. Anyone, you heard about Sybase? Sybase was a database in the early 80s, which is a good contender with the Oracle, but ultimately Oracle has taken the complete game. Sybase IQ database was already running on columnar storage. It is already there on columnar. It was running like that. And Sybase has a very good innovative mobility technologies. In 2010, SAP has acquired Sybase. So that whatever the technology Sybase has, now it's part of SAP, right? So they have even utilized that. Lot of this. So how HANA has developed, we'll see in very detail. I have a very deep dive of that. coming to the CPU cores, as I told you, it can be multiple of 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. It can go up to like this depending upon the client's the business. So as I told you, once as bringing the data here and boiling down the what are the tables we have and made it as one or two tables now, the data reduction, the data footprint has come down to the same image you see here. Earlier I was talking about BSEG and BKPF tables, right? It also has a lot of indices and aggregate tables. But you see, after there was no this particular BCID or BDCK, this has been gone. What happened to these tables? What happened to the indices and what happened to the aggregates? I'll show you that in the system. I'll take you to the IC16 and I'll show you what happened to that. But once you moved the database to the HANA, in figures, what would be the significant change? That is, this is the significant change can happen when you run HANA database. That means if you take the full potential, see, the conversion happened like this. First, you mount your ECC onto HANA. Okay, it is faster. It is faster than the conventional database on, that is ERP on other Oracle database. Putting your ECC on the HANA database, it was faster. But when you can take the full potential of HANA, only when you have simple finance on the HANA. Why? Because in the simple finance, lots of codes has been rewritten. The hundreds thousands of junk programs lines has been removed. And all the indices and these aggregates has been removed. So code has been come down to this. That means you can see here, if it is ERP suite on HANA, that means you are ECC6, EHP7 on HANA, you still have all these tables and they are maintaining this all data. But coming to the single finance, you have only two tables now, BKPF and BSEG. And again, it has been come down to the ACE Docker table, which is a single source of truth and it's a universal ledger, right? You see, this all tables has been boiled down and put in two tables. So now the data footprint, you see, from 40 GB, it has come down to 6.2 GB. Why? Because they have removed all the redundant data from the indices and these particular aggregates. But so this is why SAP has like thought discussing of having their own database, because it's not the problem of SAP running slow, it's the problem of the database. But no vendor, like say Oracle or you take IBM or you take MySQL, no vendor is not ready to take up the SAP idea for a faster database. So what SAP has done, it has own database. Now it's called as HANA. Right? So any question on this until here? Anyone?
Yes, Praveen. See this one. In this case, actually, this BSID, BSIK, all those things are part of the BFPK and BSEG,
Yes.
BKPF and BSEG.
Yes, yes. I'll show you also the system. See, the BSID is nothing but it's a duplicate of BKPF and BSEC. That means whatever the data you have, at least 70% of this data again is saved here.
Oh,
That means
okay.
you are duplicating it, right? So now what SAP has
Yeah,
done,
with the primary.
it has removed this. There is no these all things. The aggregates or indices, they are not available now. That means anything you directly get it from the main tables itself, not from the indices. I'll show you the
Okay.
system.
Otherwise, the concept was there will be primary keys and
Yes,
different tables, and it is linked.
yes, yes.
So
It
instead of
will.
that, everything is put in one table.
Yeah,
Okay,
there is a
fine.
join logic, and they'll pull the data. Right.
Yeah.
So now let me
Okay,
show
clear.
you these all things in the system so that you will better understand. Let me go to the SAP HANA system. Let me go to the HANA system. I'll show you in the C16 and how it has been done. See, have you seen this new UI 750?
Not yet.
Not it, right? So we are using this old UI which was 740 until now, but they have come up with new 750, which is similar like what you see in FIORI. You'll get the kind of FIORI, the new UI kind of thing, and it's very tedious to understand in the initial. Maybe you need to get used to use this UI because the buttons, everything has been changed. The save button earlier we used to have it on the top, right? Here we used to have the save button. But save button now here has been moved to the right bottom corner here. Okay, you will struggle initially how to figure out all the controls, but no problem, I'll show you. So let me take you to the 16 and show you. Okay, so let me first take you to the database tables, how it was. Yeah, you see the architecture of the tables, how it is. These are the main tables, right? That is VBAK and VBAP, sales document, LIKP and LIPS delivery, and VBRK and VBRP billing document. These are the tables. But we also have some indices tables for the each main table. Say for header, if you take the header, that means VBAK, sales document header, you have one more table called as VBUK, which is called the status table. VBUK. Yeah, you see here indices VBUK. Likewise VBUP. What is this VBAK VBUP do, and what is it like? Why you need the status fields? So as I told you, see these all tables in the accounting, or you see the sales and distribution has been boiled down and bring to only the main tables. Here if you see the S4 HANA structure, you don't have that indices tables like say VBUK or VBUP or VAPMA or VAKPA, VLPMA. You don't have these all things here because you don't need that, because those tables, whatever the information those tables were holding, that has been included now in the header itself or item itself. If you want a report or something, you don't need to again go to that indices tables, or you don't need to check there. You will get it directly here because those fields were part of now these header tables itself. So it goes like this. You see, this is the SAP Business Suite. What is the ECC we have, and these are the tables you have, and these are the status tables. You can see VAPMA, VAKPA, header item, header item of all the three documents. But when it comes to the HANA, you see you only have only the header tables. That's it. You don't have these status tables, index tables, nothing. You don't have these all things. Likewise, but master data has its own table. Likewise, coming to the inventory management and material ledger, only single table now. It's a mad dog. Coming to the accounting, AC docker. So these all indices has been removed, and the status tables also were removed. And now only these tables are available. So if you go to, I'll go to this server as well. Let me show you comparison ECC to S4 HANA. Just a minute, let me log into this. So this is the ECC system. What you're seeing, yeah, you can see it is the ECC system. What we're having here. If I go to SC16M here, and if I search for a table header status, that is VB UK, VB UK or VB UK, you can see it. And if I run this, you see there are records, right? There are records when I run this, the status tables. You can see sales document header status. So what status it holds? Lots of status. You can see posting status, billing status, overall picking status. Like this, lots of status would be you will be seeing total status. Lots of status it is holding right at the header level. But if I go to the same in the S4 HANA, and if I ask for this VB UK, you see no values found, nothing. But the same transaction, if I run it here in this particular ECC system, if I execute, it is showing the records. Why it's showing records? Because we were using this redundant table here in the ECC, but that has been removed here. The status tables has been removed because the status table is now part of the header table itself. That means if I go to VBAC, this is 16, and if I go to the header VBAC table, and let me scroll down here. As I told you, this is a new UI. It's very hard to find out these. Okay, but if you see in the field names here, what are the fields we have seen there in the other ECC? I'll put it side by side so that it will be easy for us to comparison. Let me put it side by side. So maybe UK, right? So there are some status fields like packing status and everything. If I scroll somewhere, you'll see this here. If you see some status stuff, yeah, you see here confirm status, delay status, and overall delivery status. In the VBAK, if I go to VBAK here, you don't see these particular status fields in the VBAK in the ECC system. You scroll down, you will not see this field over delivery status. You will not see these status fields here in the VBAK in the ECC system. But now you are seeing this status extra fields in this VBAK in the HANA system. Why? Because this status fields, whatever it is, header status is added to header, that is VBAK, and item status, that is VBUP, has been added to item table. Is it clear? Any question on this? Anyone? Is it clear?
It's very much clear, Praveen.
You got it right. So what I mean by the boil down of the tables, and many people will be saying, right, there are lots of tables has been removed. What is technically removing of the table? This is what.
And this is the real time I'm seeing.
Okay, thank you. And see, is this table really removed? Is this table really removed? No, it's there in the system, but records are not getting updated. You see, when I'm running this VB UK here, system is showing these particular fields, but when I run it, sorry, this is ECC system. This is VB UK. Let's get back. You see, in the VB UK, if I run it, it just throws an error. It says that nothing is available. It's there. It has not removed. Why? Because SAP has a lot of other work to rewrite many things, new dimensional modules, industry-specific modules, and it should get the native integration of all the cloud applications. So Let it be for some time. Later, it may go off. So this is one simple change. What happened? See, this concept we will be discussing when it comes to a concept called as data modeling. I'm just showing you as an introduction, but we need to discuss a lot of things. Yeah, what is the pricing header table? KO, KONV, right? KONV, right? KONV. You see, when I put KONV here, lots of records, right? And what it says, conditions, transaction data. But if I run the same transaction in the SAP S4 HANA KONV, what it says, no, it is not updated. Yeah, what it says, conditions table, but what happened? It has become absolute. Why it has become absolute? Because this KONV table has been replaced now with this table called as PRCD underscore elements. Now, if I go to PRCD underscore elements, you'll see the entries. You see, now you're seeing lots of entries here. But when I go to KONV, system says, see, there is no data, and system says that has been become absolute. But there were lots of changes like this. And coming to the, see, as I told you, the indices has been removed. What is indices? What is index tables? Anyone? You have an idea? What is index tables? Okay, in our case, we have different index tables for every document. That means, see, in the index tables, it will store some data. Why we use index table is,
For the sequence,
see,
I think, right?
VBAC. You take the VBAC table header, right? If I want to run a report, what is a report? I need to get a data, right? So if I want to get a data, if I run a report and if I want to get the data, what system is doing? System is going to VBAC. At the same time, what's happening? There are some transactions are also happening here, and the transaction data is getting updated sequentially here, right? That means there is lots of load and burden on this particular server in the database. That's the reason what you do is the most used fields for the reporting, you pull it out and put it in the index tables. Okay, you put it in the index tables. So what happens? Now if you want a report, system will not go to VBAC. System will go to index table and get that report. So for the VBAK, the index table is VAKPA. That means system will go to VAKPA, but it will not go to VBAK. So I'll show you. I'll show you first in the ECC. This is maybe little technical, but you'll be used to it because I'm out of something I'm showing you, right? But if you discuss as a concept called as data modeling, then you'll understand this all in very clear. But I just want to show you when someone says, wow, database tables has been removed, what exactly happened? That's the reason I'm showing this. But when you come to the concept, it will be pretty much clear for you. So if I go to the table, index table, VAK, PA, let me execute. Yeah, you see, lots of data is here. And how many fields you have here? Hardly some 10, 15 fields, partner function, right? Some 10 to 15 fields. But if I go to sales order, I'll have close, that is VBAC table. If I go to VBAC table, it would be close to 80, yeah, maybe some 80 fields, something like that. Out of that, you pull only 15 fields and you put in this index table. And whenever you want to query something, if I want some data basing upon this partner function, then you come here first and you take it. You don't go to feedback table, right? But if I run the same particular table in the S4 HANA, yeah. So you are seeing these fields, right? But is this really removed in S4 HANA? It's holding some data here, right? But is it really removed? No, it has not been removed. they have been converted as a views. See, I hope you guys might be aware of this. There are tables and there are views. Okay, tables will fetch the data from the views. So how it's happening? This VA KPI has been made as a view for the VBAC table. So if I go to, you see 11, if I run this VA KPA, okay, just check. You see, nothing was there in the VA KPA. It was not holding any data here. So, but now if I go to VA KPA and let me click on the display and let me show you this. Demo check. You see, VA KPA is a transparent table, but what is a physical table? From where system is getting the data? It is here. You see, physical table is V underscore VA KPA underscore CDS. So VA KPA, as I told you, it has been removed. Removed means it has not been completely removed. It has been made as a view where you can get the data. The primary table will be only VBA and VBAP, but not the indices or other status tables. So if you go to this, you can see where it is. It is in the utilities, runtime object and display. And what is the physical table here? This one, right? V underscore VAKPA CDS. If you copy this table and run it here, if you run this table here and go to table joins, you will see from where exactly this is getting data. From where it's getting the data, just click this. The same fields, whatever you're seeing earlier, you see VBAC. From where this data is getting, it's still getting from the VBAC. That means this all indices, whatever used to be separate earlier for the reporting, has been part of now the header table VBAC itself. That means you don't need to go for more than one or two tables to get these things. So if I come back here, that's what happened here. What happened? You see, you have status tables like this, and you have VBUK, VBAP like this, right? They have been boiled down and made it as only header tables. That's it. This all thing has been now part of that main tables itself. You don't need these aggregates or you don't need indices. Okay, so this is index tables. What is aggregates? Anyone? What is aggregates? Nihar, can you please mute?
Yeah, I have one question.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, actually, this view normally we will be using it for any kind of cancellation or something, because I believe view holds the data for some times, right? Like for temporary basis, is it?
No, it will be holding the data. Why? Because if you want to see some document, like whether it has been delivered or not, how do you get the data? So it cannot go to VBAK, right? So the data has to be replicated somewhere, that is in the status field, saying that whether this document is delivered or not, or it's closed or something. So that is what happening. See, that is what happening. What's happening? Data duplication is happening. So when you remove this, what happened? Data redundancy is there, gone. That means there is no duplication of data. Whatever the data you have, now you store directly in the VBAK. Why you're storing that? Because you have the capacity of memories, and now it is in columnar fashion, so that you can pull the records so fast. Got it? So that's what happened, and this is what the data modeling happened coming to this particular SAP S4 HANA, because everything you can get on the fly. Okay, what is on the fly aggregation? Okay, I talked about index tables now and status tables, which has been removed. Index tables and status has been removed, and now you can see only these tables has been done. But what is aggregates? Aggregates come when it comes to the analytics part. So it goes like this. Whenever you do this some, again, coming to the reporting. See, I'm talking a lot about reporting. Why? Because when HANA was developed, it was first tested with the reporting. Why? Because in any organization, what is the pain? Reporting. Transaction, you create it, you save it, that's it. But when you pull the report, that's the actual the pain, right? So HANA was first developed and tested on BW. That's the first version, BW on HANA. So that's the reason I'm talking a little more in depth to make you understand why S4 HANA was so successful. So what is aggregation? It is nothing but the simple materialization and summarizing of the data. That means in the database, you'll be storing the data in the info cubes, right? You'll be storing the data in the info cubes. But what you are doing here is, instead of querying the complete info cube, but that means the data will be stored, but not in a structured way, right? You have tons of data in the database in the reporting, in the reporting tools. But if you want to get that, what you do, you summarize it and you materialize it and store it as aggregates. It is nothing but the same data, you summarized it and put here. That means it's a duplication again. Now they have removed these aggregations because you have such a fast retrieving options. So why you need again the summarizing and putting and wasting your database here. So instead of consolidating and storing in a subset like this, now data is directly stored here and you can retrieve it from here. You don't need to have these aggregations. That's the reason aggregations has been removed, indexes has been removed. So now you can see only these tables. That's it. Clear on this? Any question? So as I told, this is only an introduction. So when we go to the topic called as data modeling, we will discuss in detail. Again, I've run it in the system. I'll show you lots of things there. Right? So now let's proceed to the next concept, that is, it's not only about database, right? Okay, now SAP has a faster database. Is that enough? No, because technology industry is demanding something else. It's not just a database. Technology industry is not just asking for a database. Industry is asking to connect your applications with IoT. What is IoT? Anyone?
Internet of Things.
Internet of Things. Right. So what is Internet of Things? What is cloud computing? Or what is big data? How these all new innovations or technologies, which you are seeing in the last 15 years or 20 years, is deciding factor of your business. Whether you should be in the business, in the competition, or you will be out of the business, is determined by many other factors like this. That means just having a HANA database will not help you, right? So HANA database is now ready to support these all things. That means SAP S4 HANA is ready to take up all these challenges. So you take IoT. What is IoT? It's Internet of Things. Knowingly or unknowingly, we are part of it. Okay. See, earlier we used to drive the technology, but now technology is driving us. Whatever technology say, we should do it. That's it, right? So technology is driving us, and knowingly or unknowingly, we are part of this all technologies, IoTs, cloud computing, whatever it is. So Internet of Things is used in variety industries. What all industries? I'll simply give you my own example. I have a smart TV. I have a smart AC as well as I have a smart refrigerator. All my devices are connected to my Wi-Fi. You see, every day, how much data they would be transferring to the companies. If there was some issue with my AC, earlier I need to go to the service center, get the person, get it done. But now I don't need to. If there is an issue, immediately my AC will display the error code. I'll go to my mobile app, which was provided by the company, and just enter, that's it. This error code will be sent to the service center. A ticket will be generated, and a service representative will be assigned to this, and he will be sending an SMS that whenever he is coming in, it is fixed. This is what happening, right? Anyone? Is this the same thing what's happening today, or we are going to service center or doing all these things?
Yeah.
That means, as I told you, knowingly or unknowingly, we are part of this digital economy or digital, whatever you call IoT. We are part of that. So IoT, it's not only just, I have given a simple example of an individual like me, but IoT is a very big picture. When it comes to the industry, it's a very, very big picture, and how the IoT is used. Audi has launched Q7 very recently. Have anyone know that? Audi has launched a new version of Q7 very recently. This Q7 works on 4 AMD processors. Even my laptop don't have 4 AMD processors. And you know how they are connected? Fiber optic cables. That means, what is fiber optic cable? We used to use it to send the data lightning speed for our computers or any communications. But fiber optic cables were used in Audi Q7 because you need to pass on the data and communicate with the sensors so fast. I'll give you some real-time examples. One is Audi. As I told you, the processing speed and the technology has gone to what level? Do you know Marina Trench? Anyone? Do you follow Marina Trench? See, Marina Trench is nothing but mapping. It's a project mapping oceans from Canada to US or something. They have taken some line like Google Map. They are mapping the oceans. The project is called as Marina Trench. Every single day, Marina Trench will collect at least 280 to 300 GB of data every day. This is per day. You can also watch that live. It's a live feed. I'll just show you very quickly, just a moment. Just go to Google and type Marina Trench live. If you go to Google and or in the browser, you just type Marina Trench, it will show you the live feed of what is the mapping happening. You see now 15 people are watching these oceans. Every day they collect 280 to 300 GB of data. You see, to process that data, how much resource you need. And another example, home automation. Today, everything is connected to Wi-Fi, internet, especially. Home automation, your fridge, TV, your lights, everything. And the best other example is Google Maps. How do Google is predicting your ETA and telling that you will be reaching the place within another some 10 minutes or 15 minutes? How the Google ETA is happening, estimated arrival time? Anyone? Have you ever think that how ETA is calculated and sent to you? Is
Yeah,
it
by collecting the position, I think, where we are and how far the destination is.
lots of things? What is the route and what is the average per hour speed on that route? Any construction work is going on in this route, any metro work or something is going on in this route. What is the average speed? What are the speed bumps? And how many Android devices is traveling on this route? They will calculate the speed of every Android device. That means you are traveling in a route, you have an Android phone. In what speed your phone is traveling? They'll calculate that. That means you see how much data they have to analyze and give you the report saying that you will be reaching in another 15 minutes. So they have to process tons and tons of data and show you the correct, accurate data. Simple one another, I'll give you an example. You take this particular Swiggy or Zomato, I hope food ordering apps. If say I am in Banjara Hills area, okay, I try to order from say Begumpet area in Hyderabad. Immediately it says that you are out of the reach of this particular ordering zone. How it can so fast tell me? Because I'm connected to GPS, right? So these all things are also influenced SAP to come up with S4. It's not just a database revamp putting a new things or new programs on a database. SAP S4 HANA can handle these all things. That is, it can be connected through IoT, which which will be used in many industries, not one or two industries. You can take it in the manufacturing industry, you can take it in the consumer applications, as I told you, the home automation or the TV fridge, whatever is connected to internet, or you take it through agriculture. In the agriculture, you can, with this particular, you can know what is going to be the rainfall, temperature, humidity, wind, speed, everything you'll be knowing out of that. Okay. So I'll just show you one image which was like how we were part of this intelligent system. If you see here, it says 7 connected device per person by 2020. I'm already connected with 4 to 5 devices now, right? As I just told you, my fridge, my TV, my AC, already, you see, yeah, you can see my fridge, TV, already we are connected. And I just told you about the Audi Q7, which has processors and fiber optics and which talks to the GPS. So you see, all the vehicles are part of this. You go to Flipkart and you want to buy something. Okay, now your mood has been changed. After 1 week, you go and search for some other product. Immediately, in the left side or right side, you will be seeing what you are searching 1 week back. They will immediately show you that particular product. That means what you should shop, it is decided by the technology. So that's how we were part of technology, knowingly or unknowingly. So SAP can take care of all these things. Why? Because how this is possible? That is by reading these massive data. Okay, if you without this, it's not possible. Earlier, why this is not happening? Because at that time we don't have this in-memory database or columnar store or parallel processing. We don't have this all things, so it's not possible at that time. But now the technology advancement has taken us to this level. Cloud computing, I don't need to tell you, I guess you know what is cloud computing. So you take Dropbox, literally Gmail, or you take any CRM, you just only subscribe for that. You have now an option as SAS, software as a service. You don't need to install or set up your computers or anything. You just subscribe. Netflix, Amazon Prime. What you're doing, you're just paying the subscription fees and you're watching the movies. But Netflix and Amazon should have some infrastructure, right? What is that infrastructure? They need to have the servers, rack space, everything, right? So it is mounted there and you just pay the subscription, you watch it. You take Salesforce, which was a SaaS based, that means software as a subscription. It's a cloud application. You take Ariba, you take SuccessFactor, you take Concur, Fieldglass, or you take this, what's the other one? Okay, there's one more. So see, these all things are cloud based. So that's the cloud particular big data. I hope you guys has heard this term. What is big data? And SAP is ready to process big data. Big data means voluminous, tremendous explosion of data. What kind of data it is? It can be social media data. It can be social media data. There is some incident you will be seeing, right, throughout the internet, on the Facebook, you'll be seeing the posts on the same thing. Say Karnataka elections happened. So complete social media talks about only this thing. That means if some company is interested in that side, in survey agency, or any agency, they want to analyze this data, what's happening. So just imagine how much huge data it is. Black box data, the black box what you see in the aircrafts, continuously, seamlessly, it would be sending the receiving the data, right? So you should be analyzing the stock market data. How much data you would be having in the stock market. So this all data should be analyzed. This can be handled by big data, and SAP is ready to process this big data with its in-memory database. Right? So these are the new technology advancements which has been in the industry in the last couple of, say, some 10 to 15 years. And SAP is ready to take care of this. It has already taken this all the advantages, and now SAP is ready to give solutions for this. So now let's move on to HANA. What is HANA? Why HANA? Why SAP has come up with HANA? Lots of things. Okay, what is HANA? Anyone? What is HANA?
HANA is a database backend.
Yeah. Anyone else would like to try that? What is HANA? Yeah, that was the confusion we have in the industry. That is whether HANA is a database or HANA is a analytical tool. What exactly HANA is, right? And when I say HANA, is it a software or a hardware? Anyone?
It's a software.
It's a software, right? But no, it is a combination of software and hardware. HANA is not just a software, because the HANA definition, the acronym of HANA itself tells what it is. High performance analytical appliance. What do you mean by appliance? If I say kitchen appliance, you know what is kitchen appliances are. The word appliance means it is something physical, right? That is application. That means HANA is not just a software. HANA is a combination of software and hardware. The acronym of HANA is High Performance Analytical Appliance. So what do you mean by this appliance? That is, as I just told you, in the 80s, 90s, at that time, there was very, hardware was so expensive, and there was not much hardware innovations and technical innovations were available at that time. But now, you have that advantage of high memories, processing speeds, that is multi-cores. So HANA has taken that advantage. That means if you want to go for HANA, it's not just you buy a license of HANA from SAP. You should also buy SAP recommended servers or hardware. Okay, you should also buy SAP's recommended this particular server. There are SAP's close to 17 plus certified partners which SAP recommends. HP, IBM, Fujitsu, like there are partners, and you can get a combination. That means the configurations of 900 plus configurations are available in the market now to choose within. Okay, that's what SAP has come up with. That means it's not just a application software, it's combination of application and software, both hardware and software. But because now you can get your memory as big as your hard drives. I'll just take you a simple example why HANA is so fast. See, at the earlier time, when we have that traditional hard disk, which has a mechanical hand in it, right? The traditional hard disk has a mechanical hand. That means it can access data only sequentially. You remember that old audio cassettes? Anyone? The old audio cassettes. If you have 10 songs in the audio cassette, if you want to play 7th song, how do you play that? Can I go to directly 7th song? Anyone?
No, we have to fast forward.
We used to fast forward it, and if not, we cannot go it. The same example, I'll take it on a CD. If you put a CD in your laptop and open it, you will see all the songs, right? Now, if I want to go for seventh song, do I need to pass on all the songs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then I'll reach 7, or directly I can tap on seventh and play the seventh song. I can directly go for seventh song, right? I don't need to cross all these things. But in the conventional method, you need to go sequentially. If 1, 2, you need to forward it, and then only you will be reaching 7. That's what the difference. What happened with the this bringing memory into the database into the memory, because let me show you something. If you see this was the traditional hard drive which is available earlier, which has a mechanical hand, and it used to read the data sequentially, right? It used to read the data sequentially. But now data was in memory, in the RAM. You don't need to go sequentially. Directly, whatever you want, you can go there and get the data, put it to the processing and give the analytics. So that's what the difference made between the moving memory into the, moving the database into the memory. Right. So let's discuss more about this particular HANA. What exactly is HANA and how HANA has come into existing. See, this is a very deep dive document, so I cannot go through all the pages. It is close to 109 pages, 106 pages document. It's a complete deep dive document, so I cannot explain you all these things. Even though I explain, it may not be useful for you as a functional consultant. If you have a better idea what is a HANA, that's enough. You don't need to really dig in deep and understand what exactly is there. But you need to understand some terminologies, as I told you, parallel processing or core. You should understand this, but you don't need to go through all these things like, say, what is code push down and how do you write a syntax. You don't need to really know this, but if you know this, it's a good thing. So I'm providing this deep dive document which has every explanation here, but I'll take you some I'll tell you some points out of this. Okay, I hope by that time now you understood what is HANA. Everyone, Lakshmi, Niharika, Rajesh, Sandeep, Rajshmi, everyone, you got the idea right now what is HANA, at least HANA database, right? So HANA is a database. 100% HANA is a database with hardware, with a combination of hardware. So why we'll talk a lot about reporting when it comes to HANA, because as I told you, the mechanical hand hardware what I have shown, the audio cassette example I have given. Now you see how fast the data retrieving happens. You just insert a CD, play 7 songs, but earlier you need to fast forward all the 6 songs and then only you go to the 7th song. Right? So now let us talk a little more the terminologies whatever we have here in the HANA. I think we are discussing a lot. You feel like that you want a break sometime, 2 minutes, or shall we continue?
No problem in any way.
No, nothing, right? Okay, we'll continue. We shut by 8:30, something like that. Okay. So HANA technology. The first is the hardware trends, what we have in the market now. So what do generally today's database features, what generally companies expect out of today's database? What they expect? They expect a real-time data processing, and it should be high speed, and it should process structured data and unstructured data, and it should be in a position to connect to the big data and IoT applications, right? And it should also be able to process the spatial data, geographical. So this is the feature, this is the requirement of any today's database. Any organization expects these features in a database. So how HANA has come into picture? Who has driven this project HANA? You know Vishal Sikka? I hope you guys might be knowing, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. He was one among the person who coined this HANA. Okay, along with the chairman of SAP, Fasos or some name, I don't exactly remember. So along with him, he is the one person who has driven this HANA project. And in between, they acquired, as I told you, lots of things. So how it started? What is HANA? HANA is not just one product. It is a synthesis of couple of other projects. What is that synthesis? It is Trex. See, you can also watch the YouTube video of Vishal Sikka where he explains very well about how it has been materialized from 2002 to 2011. You can just go through that. So Trex was one search engine which SAP has taken, and these all were like a college projects. DFK, this was a German organization. This was written in Germany, DFKI. In English, it will be saying some Germany Artificial Intelligence Academy or something. German Artificial Intelligence Academy. It is written in German here. So SAP HANA, it's a combination or a synthesis of Trex, PTime, and MaxDB. This all together put into one has become HANA. That means a lot of work has been done on that anyway. So they have started sequentially like this, and first they have put a Trex onto the in the NetWeaver. It was perfect. Then after they have taken the in-memory attributes and they have tested. It was perfect. It has run tremendously. Then 2005 again they have acquired some other free time and they have used it. So like this, it's a process of 10 years work. It's not just out of the blue. It has come into the picture. Yeah, this is the guy of the chairman Hasso Platter. So this here where the first product has come out with the combination of Stanford University and Hasselblad Institute. The first shipment of HANA was taken on 2010, and they mounted BW on HANA in 2011, and the first version of HANA ERP mounted, that is ERP ECC, first mounted on HANA database in 2013, which was good. But SAP has thought, no, we need to move financials, that is simple finance. Why is financials? Because financials has lots of data, day total, weekly total, quarterly totals, monthly totals, month end close, year closings. Finance has lots and lots of data. So first they thought of rewriting all the finance and bringing it to S4 HANA. That's how in the 2015 third month, March, that is 1503 HANA version has been, that is S4 HANA, it is simple finance. It was just one simple finance. It was not a suit on HANA. That was came out. Then after they thought of rewriting the logistics, and they started rewriting logistics, and the first logistics version S4 HANA was released in 1511, that is 2015 11th month. See, even today, you don't need to separately install logistics. If I go to my HANA system, and if you want to do the conversion project, you don't have anything related to logistics. What it says, conversion of accounting to HANA. This is 1709 system. It is saying accounting. In the older system, 1610, it will say that a conversion of finance. Conversion of finance. Now, in the latest version, they have changed the word saying as conversion of accounting. You see, there will not be any word saying that conversion of logistics, because logistics is an integral part of this particular S4 HANA. So you don't need to separately install logistics or something. You install S4 HANA, a simple finance, automatically you will get the logistics. So they started with the simple finance, and you know the versions. I'll be also telling you the versions, how it has been done. So before going to that S4 HANA introduction, let's first finish off what is HANA, this all discussion. Okay, so as I told you, the 1503 was the first version, and yeah, from there onwards, no look back. SAP has released 3 versions till today. Coming to the logistics, it was 1709, the latest version, and maybe in another 2 or 3 months you will be seeing a 18XX version. It can be 1809 or it can be 1810. So we need to wait what version they will be coming up with. Okay, HANA is a database or a software. That might be a question for you, right? Is HANA a database or software? I already clarified you, right? What is it? It's not just a database, or it's not just a software. It's a combination of everything, right? Because the database has been rewritten, like columnar storage, this thing, and your ERP programs has been rewritten, and you have a hardware coupled with this. So HANA is a database, but it has lots of ancillaries surrounding it. So why to choose a HANA? You have speed, you have agility, you have simplicity, you have cost, choice options. As I told you, You have 900 configuration options to buy from 17 plus different vendors. Huge choice. Okay. So advantages of HANA, we already discussed. See, I am not going through every word of the document or complete in detail of HANA because it's a very, very lengthy. It will take 10 hours for us to discuss. Okay. So I recommend you to go through the document by just what I just shown, but I'll just brief you some points out of it. I'll not go through the complete. So it is not really useful for you if you want to remember as a S4 consultant, but you should know that. Okay. So code push down we already discussed. Then next is auto recovery. Okay, before going to auto recovery, let me show you the HANA platform, how it is. You see, earlier there used to be analytics server separate and your transaction server separate. Your ERP is a transaction, that is OLTP. And your BW, BI, all these things are OLAP, right? That is the analyticals and transactions. That means you used to have your ERP in one server and you used to have your BW in one server. And you transfer data from here. Whatever the data you have, again you're transferring it. One is duplication. Second thing, sometimes you may transfer data synchronously because it will hamper the system performance. So you're not getting a real-time report. Whatever the report you are generating today, and you want to take a decision tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, in this 12 hours itself, something went wrong. That means the action has been done. Now you need to only post-mortem on that data. No real-time data is available. So now what they have done is in the S4 HANA, every application will sit on the same performance, in the same platform. That is, they merged your OLAP and OLTP both on HANA. That means your transaction data is here. The same data your OLAP is also using to analyze it. So it's fast and the reports are near to the real time. If you're going for a meeting at evening 4 p.m., at least you can get a data 3:30 p.m. close to real time. You don't need to take 24 hours old or 12 hours old data. So you can see one platform, which is combination of OLAP, OLTP, and only one copy of data. You don't have data redundancy here like earlier. Data in the ECC and the data in the your analytics system. So one copy of data and both are coupled and one platform. On top of that, you can run anything, any application servers, any processes, anything you can run on top of this. Okay. So you can see columnar OLAP, OLTP. It's a multi-core parallel processes and it's an advanced compression. I'll show you the compression levels, what it happens. Some 600 GB data is getting compressed until 8 GB. 600 GB will be compressed to 8 GB. You see. So these all advantages you have in the HANA database. On top of that, you can run anything like this, any services. So as I told you, the hardware trends, what we have earlier, we used to have only single CPU and single core and a very small memories. The processors are very RAMs are very small. But now you have huge memory, you have multiple CPUs and multi-core. So this was one hardware trend which it changed drastically everything, right? So I have some write-up here. Please go through this. We cannot explain all these things. Yeah, reducing of data footprint. As I told you, data has been compressed and the duplication data has been removed. So now you don't need to store the duplication data, massive data. The next, parallel processing. This is what I'm talking about, the parallel processing. So you can see here, what is parallel processing? You each, like say, if I run a report for 1 year, earlier one core used to process January, February, March, like this. Now, if you have 12 cores, it will be done 1/10 time. The time would be saved that minimum. Why? Because every job will be allocated to some different core. Okay, so this will be processed by core 1, core 2, core 3, core 4, like this. You can add up any cores depending upon your business requirement. So this is parallel processing using multi-core approach. And the code push down, I have already talked about that. What is the classical approach? You have application here and you have the data in the bottom. But now it was inverted. You have taken your application, that means your logic itself, to the data. That means you have the memory in the database. So your logic is also in the database. That means in the memory. So calculations are so fast now. It is so fast. Auto recovery, this one very important thing. And if you go like say in any meeting or sometime when you meet a client, he may also ask you, see, what is memory? DRAM? Anyone? See, if I have some data in my hard drive, even the power goes off, the data will be there, right? It will not be wiped off. Let's say I'm in between of creating some Word document. If I don't save, if power goes off, my system shut down, what happened? Will I have that copy or it will be wiped off? Now anyway we have auto recovery, but earlier what happens? If the power goes off, all the data would be erased because we don't have any backup points. The same question your customer will also ask you. That is, if the data is in hard disk, it is stored there, so even power goes off, it will be there. But RAM, how the RAMs work? It is used only to process the data, random access memory. That means it will get the data from the database, put it in the RAM, apply the logic, give you the reports. Once the work is done, it will wipe off that particular. But now it's not going to happen. Why? Because you are bringing your data itself into the memory, right? So system will have a restore points. How do we restore? How do we set up restore points for our computers? So if something goes wrong, I can restore to 1 week back, 1 month back, right? The same thing SAP has also come up with the HANA. So you have some save points. That means very, very near. Suppose it is 8:15, you will have one save point at 8:14, 30 seconds or 40 seconds or 50 seconds. Okay. So if power goes off and when again power comes off, immediately system will pull that data from the flash memory. So you don't need to worry if power goes off, will you be losing the data or not? Okay. When the power is restored, the data is also automatically restored. You don't lose anything. It happens everything invisible. Whatever you're talking, it happens invisibly back end. We cannot see physically. When I talk about multi-core, when I talk about parallel processing, when I talk about restore points, save points, I cannot show you something. No one can see it in the front end as a S4. Okay, so it happens everything in the back end, but we should know and we should be vigilant about what happening, the terminologies, what is the process. Okay, the next is the one other good approach what SAP has come up with, text processing. Massive data. Where do you see text? You see text everywhere, right? That means search engines. You take social media, you have lots of search. So you need to analyze that text. SAP is ready, the HANA database is ready to do the text processing in multiple languages. It's not a single language. It can automatically detect and apply that particular linguistic rules and process the data, that means the text. And SAP also come up with a fuzzy search. What is fuzzy search? Anyone? You have an idea what is fuzzy search? See, I'll just show you. Can you see my screen now? Anyone?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It is visible.
Right? See, Yahoo. What is the spelling of Yahoo? YAHOO, right? I'll just type it YAHO. what Google says, immediately it says, do you mean Yahoo? This is fuzzy search. That means at any time user types some typo error like this, SAP is ready to correct you. Okay, they are taking this advantage of fuzzy search to auto correct you, saying that do you mean this, or it can give you options whether is it the same thing you are expecting or anything else. It can give one or two options. Okay, even this is possible with the HANA. So OLTP, let's see in a pictorial how it will read. So how you get the data into the OLTP? Lots of inputs. Marketing and sales will input lots of data, and operations, human resource, financials, everyone will be inputting the data, and the data will be in the OLTP system. That is your BW or BI, whatever it is. So now what happened, this OLTP has everything come into one thing in the DRAM. That means it is ready to process on the memory itself. You don't need to go for the hard drives. Right? So column versus row based, I already explained you, but you can go through some reading material here so that you will better understand what happens. And as I told you, the compression rates will come down like this. A 1 GB data will be compressed to fifth time, that is 200. Sorry, 1 terabyte data will be compressed to 1 by fifth time, that is 200 GB. These are the compression levels. I will show you one more picture what is the complete compression levels, what SAP HANA will be doing. Okay, so yeah, I hope HANA we have discussed enough. What is the advantages? What are the different terminologies we have in HANA? So now let's we move on to the actual S4 HANA discussion. Okay, or else why SAP need S4 HANA? Okay, in between of HANA, S4 HANA, there is a small line, that is why SAP need its ERP to run on HANA database and call it as S4 HANA. Let's also see the trend why it has done. Okay. Before that, I'll show you that server sizings. As I told you, you have lots of combinations, right? So it is popularly called as a T-shirt sizing. So I'll just show you the T-shirt sizing image. So this is how you can size your servers for HANA. It is available like this: extra small, small, and somewhere it will be. Yeah, you can see T-shirt sizing like the extra small, small, medium, large. If it is extra small, it is 2 into 10 core. But if it is large, 8 into 10 core. Here it is only 128 GB, but if it is large, it is 1 terabyte main memory. See, the ideal is you should have only 50% of the database mounted onto your memory. You cannot see if you have 1 terabyte and you have 1 terabyte data, you cannot mount all the 1 terabyte data onto your memory. Okay, always 50% should be living. Why? Because if you don't left, then processing should be happened, right? And we also talked about the hot and cold data, right? Let me also show you the hot and cold data and how it is used. So hot and cold data, what is hot and cold data? As I just told you, if my company is having say 1 terabyte of data, I cannot mount all the 1 terabyte data into the memory because it need to do processes, it need to applicate logics. So what you do is, in any organization, the data is classified like this: hot, warm, and cold. Okay, what is hot data? That means which just happened 1 month back, 2 months back, 1 year back. Depending upon the industry and the client, it would be decided what is a hot data. That data will be stored in the memory, RAM. Okay, which is like a in memory. Warm data, that means 5 years. 5 years to last 2 years. You will be putting in HANA disk. This is in the database disk. This is in the memory. Anything beyond 5 years, you may not be needing. So you archive it. You archive that data. That is cold data. This is the temperature classification of the data. It goes like this. Yeah. hot data, warm data, cold data, and you archive the data, right? So it's not that you should put all the data in the memory, okay? So 50% you should put in the memory and 50% you leave it for the processing. There is a standard recommendation from SAP as well, like what should be the standard RAM, the cores, everything. There is a standard recommendation from SAP. So now let's go. So HANA, it's good, right? I hope we discussed good enough on the HANA. Do we need anything more to discuss on HANA? Anyone? You wish?
Uh,
Okay.
Praveen, Sunil here.
Yes.
What is the major difference between HANA and S4 HANA?
Yeah, we are coming there. First, we finished what are the new technologies and trends in the industry. Then after we discussed the
Okay.
HANA. Now you've got a little idea about what is HANA, what are the terminologies, what are the jargons used in the industry. Before going to
Okay.
S4 HANA, let's also discuss, as I told you, there is a thin line called as why SAP need a business suite. Why SAP has come up with a
Okay.
S4 HANA business suite. First, let's discuss that. Then we'll move on to the what is S4 HANA. Okay.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. That will give you a very good understanding. Okay.
Okay.
Now let me tell you what is why SAP needs this particular new business suite. That means we already have a SAP ECC, EHP, it can be EHP 765, whatever it is. Then what SAP has done? It has mounted the business suite onto HANA. That means your ECC 6, EHP 7 is sitting on HANA, right? Then after, this was in 2013. Okay, this was in 2013. Then after, they have moved, they have come up with a new called as Simple Finance, or in 2015, they have come up with Simple Finance, which is sitting or running on HANA database. Then after, they have come up with SAP S4 Enterprise Management, which is combination of Simple Finance and Logistics. There is no word from SAP coined as Simple Logistics. In the industry, we call it very frequently Simple Logistics because SAP Finance was Simple Finance. Yeah, Simple Finance was the word SAP coined. There is a word simple finance, but there is no word from SAP coined as simple logistics. It was just enterprise management. Enterprise management includes both finance as well as logistics, right? So what is the need of a new business suite? That means what is the need of S4 HANA? Like Sunil asked now, what is the difference of HANA and S4 HANA? Why is the need of S4 HANA? Because of changing trends in the business. Digital economy. What is digital economy? Today, everything is digital, online, right? We don't go to bank. We just transfer money from mobile, right? Earlier, we used to visit bank. There used to be some stationery used. Nothing today. Everything is digital. You don't use any stationery today. Real-time business is one another reason. Okay? No business cannot survive today if you don't have a real-time business. And the other thing is, the best example is Ariba, supplier collaboration. Today we are importing tons of things from different countries. Okay, we cannot rely on only one supplier because someday if we could not deliver, then your business would be collapsed, right? So you need to have a very good network of suppliers so that you can choose from who supplies the best product at the in time with the best price. Okay, Ariba gives you this advantage. So you need a supplier collaboration. Then next comes is the digital core. Okay, you go through all these things. Then comes the digital core. What is the digital core? SAP's digital core is nothing but it has all these simple logistics. It has this all whatever we talked. That is a simple finance, whatever it is. Okay. So first SAP has started like this. It has mounted its ECC business suite, whatever it's having. It used to run on any database, right? Earlier, Oracle, but it is also made to run on HANA. But later, it was now only S4 HANA, which can you run on-premise or cloud. It can be, you can take it in any way. Now later it comes with a digital core. What is the digital core? Let me show you and explain. I'll take you to the S4 HANA so that there we can discuss more about the digital core. So it's the same thing. All images talks about the same thing, but a simple thing might be changed in between. Okay, so as I told you, why SAP has come up with a new S4 HANA enterprise management, because SAP has come up with a database taking advantage of all the hardware innovations and technical innovations. Yeah, that's perfect. But today's trend, it's not just your database, right? It's not about your database. You need to connect online, because half of your applications are online. You take Ariba, you take SuccessFactor, you take Concur, you take Fieldglass, you take Hybris. It should be in a position to integrate with them. And the other disadvantage in the traditional landscape was you have a ERP in one system and all the new dimensional modules. It can be GTS, it can be APO, it can be CRM, are in separate different servers. And your analyticals is in separate servers. That means it's a very distributed landscape, right? It's not one. And what's happening? A customer, what we create in ERP, if I want to check whether he is a denied party or not, I need to transfer that to GTS. And the GTS, it against some data from MK data or something, it will check whether he is a denied party or not, and it will allow you to create a sales order, right? So with HANA, what happens is it is a proprietary and it is a IP of SAP, right? Complete, it's a proprietary property of SAP. Now, when SAP has its own database, why we need to still run on other database? That means, okay, ERP is now on SAP, but still your other applications, new dimensional modules, industry specific modules are still running on other database, and you don't have that great integration again now. Still you are doing the old method, transferring synchronous data or asynchronous data, getting the results back. Instead of that, now what SAP has done is, it is a common platform that is they have developed called as digital core. And on top of that, you mount all your SAP other products. It can be analytical applications, it can be new dimensional products, or it can be industry specific. Already they have brought this EWM, embedded EWM. Now it's part of HANA. There is no warehouse management now. See, still warehouse management is existing. They have not removed it, but they have come up with EWM. That means it has been embedded here. Your analytics has been embedded here. PPDS, which was part of APO, that will see, APO is a very big module. They cannot in one go rewrite and get it onto the HANA. So what they are doing, one by one, first PPDS has been, demand planning has been brought here. Later, they may get GATP onto the HANA like this. So one by one, they're rewriting the code. Okay, the innovation roadmap is up to 2020. That's what SAP says, right? 2020 is the roadmap. That until then, you will be receiving the versions. See, what are the versions you are seeing? That is for only on-premise. That means 15.11, 16.10, and 17.9. These are on-premise versions. But in cloud, every quarter you have a version. For on-premise, yearly only one version. But cloud, every quarter a new version. Why? Because cloud is managed by SAP. It's there in hands. But if user want to, that means your customer will they be ready to upgrade like that? No. So that's, they have restricted only to the cloud and releasing only one version per annum. And so why it's taking versions and why these timings? Because they need to rewrite lots of programs and get onto the native integration. What is native integration? This all Third-party application. See, earlier SuccessFactors is not SAP application. Okay, Hybris is not SAP application. Ariba is not SAP application. But now they are part of SAP because SAP has acquired it. When SAP has acquired it, it was running fine with some interfaces. With some interfaces, we are communicating and we are running. But when we have this digital core, why don't we get that into our native integration so that it runs on our own platform called as HANA? So to do this all, SAP is rewriting the programs, and that's the reason the roadmap was extended to 2020. And SAP says that it will be stopping the service of ECC, whatever is present now, ECC 6, by 2023 or 2025. By that time, all the customers has to migrate onto S4 HANA. So now let me show you the digital core and how it looks and how everything is surrounded against the digital core. And why really? Yeah, as you asked. Why you need to get onto S4 HANA? Because technology is helping. Earlier, this was not there. Now you have multi-core processors, you have affordable memories, you have cloud. That's one reason. So this is the digital core I was talking about. You see, in the blue, whatever you are seeing is the digital core. That is nothing but your S4 HANA, which is simple finance and which is your simple logistics, S4 HANA. And all the cloud applications, you can see Concur, Fieldglass, you can see Hybris again, Hybris service, Hybris marketing, lots of things. And Ariba, everything is sitting now on the same platform, integrated with the digital core. All the LOBs, it can be manufacturing, it can be supply chain, it can be asset management, it can be research development, all the LOBs, close to 28 to 30 line of businesses has been already brought into SAP. Okay, so this is all the native integration happening between this S4 HANA core, which is also called as digital core, and the other applications which still yet to get onto the SAP. I'll show you the data footprint reduction, how it's happened. Okay, I'll show you also this. See, when HANA has started, the database was ready. First, what I have done, see, the existing ERP ECC was ready to run on any database. But what they have done? They have brought this ERP onto the S4 HANA, which is called as Suite on HANA. Okay, this is called as Suite on HANA. Perfect. It was working some 300, 500, 700 times fast. But it is not taking the complete leverage of HANA. Because you just changed only the database, but the old programs, database, tables, fields, everything are same. It's same available. Only you change the database. That's it. You have not rewritten the programs or code lines. Okay, it is comparatively faster from here to here, but not to the full extent. As I told you, they first thought of doing rewriting finance because finance has lots of things to do, and every module integrates with finance. Some or other thing it will post into finance. So they have rewritten finance. What is that? Now your HANA database, and you can see your ERP, whatever is there, ECC and simple finance is on the HANA database. Then they thought of bringing even logistics also into HANA. So now it was S4 HANA. That means the finance and logistics were sitting on the single database S4 HANA. Got it? So this is how the transition happened from Suite on HANA to S4 HANA. Okay, another 5-10 minutes we'll close. Okay, I'll take some questions and we'll close. Just another 5-10 minutes. Okay. Yeah.
Praveen,
This is
see here.
yeah.
Can I talk, Praveen?
See,
suppose my company actually they are using SAP ERP. Okay. I mean ECC.
Okay.
Then we have Hybris also, that is basically using for the marketing and all.
Okay.
So you mean if it is migrating to S4 HANA, then Hybris is already inbuilt in that?
Yes. You only need to buy license. That's it. You don't need to again bring Hybris onto your S4 HANA. Every application of SAP owns Now it is available on S4 Digital Core. It's available. You want it or you don't want it. It is available. If you want it, you buy the license.
Okay.
Okay. It's what the logic of
Yeah.
S4 HANA. You don't need to have multiple boxes, distributed landscape. Only one. Bring everything onto that. Buy license whatever you want and use it.
So in this case, hybrids and all, they stop selling the product directly, or everything is with them, or it is both the way they are doing.
See, one thing, as of now, whatever is running, it's running the same way earlier. Why? Because clients cannot transform that quick, right? Let's say there is a customer who implemented hybrids in 2015. If I ask him to change to this in 2018, will he do that? He already spent some money, right? Just 2 years back. Will he be ready to do this all transition immediately? No.
Never.
So there is again a lots of set of checklist you need to follow. I'll also discuss that. We have a concept for that to discuss. So when it comes to activate methodology, that is greenfield implementation. You remember I used to give a questionnaire PB in my SD training, which used to carry, right? The same kind of DB, the checklist I'll give you. That means whenever you go to a client, for every question of your client, you will have an answer. Okay, whether the simple question, whatever you asked, do I need to now migrate to S4 HANA to run my hybrids? This is the same question what your customer will ask. Then you need to follow some checklist. That is when actually you implemented it. Okay, how much, what is the investment? Whether your competitors are using hybrids or not. If your competitors are, no one is using hybrids, you already taken that advantage, right? Why again immediately move on to S4 HANA? You continue the same. There are lots of checklists. It's a very big discussion. I'll anyway share that to you so that you can go through that. Okay. See, it's a very big discussion. Whatever we are discussing today, we cannot couple it in just 2 hours. Some 10 hours it will not be enough. I hope you understood, right? Even 10 hours it will not be. You cannot understand. And there are a lot of things still I haven't discussed. I need to tell you, I need to show you some things. I'll show you very quickly. I'll show you 10-15 minutes. Okay, I'll wrap.
Praveen, Sudhanshu here.
Yes, Raj.
Yeah, Praveen, in this S4 HANA, we have also covered the ECC system to S4 HANA migration system. Is like that.
Yes, we will cover. That is the core. Learning S4 HANA may or may not be useful for you. But if you don't know the conversion, what you will do in the real time? What are the project you get now? That would be conversion project. What all the customers SAP has from 1970 to till date, all the customer has to migrate to S4 HANA 5 in 2025. See the volume of business opportunities.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
You'll have a very good opportunities. Yeah. So let's continue. 10-15 minutes. I'll close. I'll show you something in the system, then we'll close it. So I want you to make you understand. Again, you should not have HANA database or a software. What is S4? How do I integrate? You should not have these questions again. If we get into subject, we should discuss only subject again. Again, we should not carry out all these questions like what is aggregate tables, what is in these tables. Someone says that tables has been removed. Someone says that compression is high. You should not have these all questions in mind. Okay, I told you I'll show you the data footprint reduction, right? Let me show you. You see, the data has been reduced from 593 GB to a massive 4.4, 8.4 GB. You see, when your ERP is on traditional database, the data traditionally be like Oracle or DB2, it was 593 GB. Okay, when your ERP has brought on to HANA database, it was 118 GB. Okay, it is similarly fast, right? That's what I'm telling. When your ERP was on HANA database, it is fast, but it's not taking a full leverage. That's the reason SAP has come up with S4 HANA. Sunil, you got the answer. What is S4 HANA? Why you need S4 HANA? Because you take the complete leverage. See, at that time, when you mount your ECC on the HANA database, you are taking the power of only HANA at that time. Your ERP was same with the same table, same 100,000 codes of lines. Everything is the same. But what they have done, they have still even rewritten this and they made it as S4 HANA. The new code lines, tables, aggregates, everything has been removed and the database. So now what happened? 118 has been come to 42. And SAP HANA has a compression, that particular technology, which has compressed this further to 8 GB. Okay, so anyway, I'll share this document so that you can go through this write-up. So what indexes has been removed, what are the aggregates, so lots of things again. Okay, so concepts, coming to the concepts, what was changed? Okay, one more thing, let me show you. Okay, or else let's move on. Yeah, as I told you, embedded analytics was part of now this thing, embedded EWM, embedded analytics, lots of things has been part of this particular. Okay, so yeah, we finished discussing about what is new technologies. As I told you, Internet of Things, or it can be big data, it can be cloud computing first. Let me just recap in 1 minute so that you will be in a sync. Right, first we discussed about what is the new technologies in the market. We started with a discussion of what was wrong with the traditional database. Okay, whether it can be Oracle, whether it can be DB2. What was the wrong with the traditional database and its drawbacks? Because it was developed in the 80s. At that time, there is no much technology is all available. Hardware is not available. Then after we started with the discussion of new technologies, that means the IoT, and we discussed about the cloud computing, and we discussed about big data. What are the driving force of today's economy? Then after we discussed what is HANA. Then after we discussed why really do we need a suite, that is enterprise management. As I told you, there is a thin line. What is the thin line? Before HANA, what is this thin line? That is, ERP was working perfect on HANA, but it is not enough to handle all these things. So really, do we need a new business suite? Yes, because you have digital economy, you have lots of cloud applications which need to be integrated to the SAP, and many other things you need to take care of. So that's the reason SAP has come up with HANA, S4 HANA, that is Enterprise Management Suite. So we talked a lot about HANA database, what is in memory, parallel processing, cores, and these all things. But I told you that there was something rewritten of programs in the ERP as well, right? What is that? What is the simplification done? See, we learned what is the simplification done in the database level, but what is the simplification done for the ERP level? Let us discuss that for next 5 minutes. Okay. What is simplification? See, SAP releases a very big, massive 900 pages simplification document, and it explains everything what has been simplified there. It's an open document, public, anyone can access. 19 pages. Simplification list of 1709, initial shipment stack. It has all the contents, what has been simplified in the master data, module wise, everything is there here. I don't know whether anyone goes through this document or not. Okay, document is available, but I don't know whether it's possible for anyone to go through this or not. But let's see what's simplified. When it comes to the MRP, why MRP? Yes, sorry, yeah. When it comes to S4 HANA, as I already told you, database was perfect, but there were some applications or application areas or objects in the SAP ERP which was not taking that full leverage. The best example is MRP. What is MRP? Anyone?
Material requirement
Material
planning.
requirement planning. In a simple steps, in a simple words, what material you need, when you need it, what quantity you need it. That's nothing but MRP, right? How do we run an MRP? What is the transaction code?
ND01.
MD01, right? When I run MRP with MD01, how do I do this scope of planning here? That is, You see, I'm planning in a plant. What if I want to plan in multiple plants? I want to plan in 2 plants simultaneously. This option is not available here, right? Okay, material wise, I don't want, see in my plant I have 100 materials. I don't want to perform MRP for all the 100 materials. I need only one material, but you don't have an option. If I run MRP, it will plan for all the materials. It will give me a report after 10 hours or 24 hours, right? That option is not available here. If you want to go for material wise, you have one more transaction MD02 where you can plan material level. You see, single item plant level, single item plant level. But if you want to plan more than one, then you have one more transaction MD03. Okay, material single item level, but you can do the parallel processing here. These all things now coupled into one transaction, that is MD01N. MD01N. What you can do here? You can plan multiple plants, multiple materials. If you want to plan only for one material, okay, do it here. Multiple materials, do it here. Or you have some product groupings. That means it has simplified this. That means your MRP live now, it is not 10 hours, 20 hours old. Your MRP is now near to the real time. Okay. See, it is something like this. If you want to, there is a requirement some material, you run MRP and it has taken 12 hours time. By the time you get the report or MRP has been performed, it's a planning, the demand for that material is already gone in the 12 hours. But now it's not like that. You run, immediately system will tell you whether that materials are available or not, whether you need to plan it or not. So this is one major change what SAP has come up with, that's called as MRP Live, MD01 transaction. That's one major enhancement. And as hope you know, business partner was there in the ECC system. We never used it. See, this is my ECC system. If I run a transaction BP, it's logged off. Let me quickly log into this. Actually, it was scheduled up to only 8:30, but please bear with me for another 5 minutes. I'll close. I hope we are learning some good things.
Praveen, Madhuri here.
Yeah.
Joined late. You will be sharing the videos, right?
Yes. You'll get the videos, you'll
Thank
get
you,
documents.
Okay, thank you, Praveen.
Okay, so my approach would be the same as SD training. You will get the documents, videos, and one extra thing, you also get 2 months server access here. Right. Yeah, so as I told, BP was a new thing in that is business partner. We used to use customer master in the ECC, but now in S4 HANA there is no customer master, it's only business partner. Is business partner new in the SAP? No. See, I'm in the ECC system. If I run a transaction BP, maintain business partner, yeah, you see, pretty much this is available in the ECC, but we never used it. Why? Because it's the same question. See, why SAP has come up with business partner in the S4 HANA? That is, the reason behind it is customer master, as I told you in the R3, when it is developed in the 80s or 90s, customer master was there in the ECC system, that is ERP system. But when SAP has come up with the CRM system in the 2001, they have come up with a concept called as business partner. Then after, this concept was taken into GTS. Then after, it was taken into SRM. Then after, it was taken into FSCM module. That means, see, all these modules were using a transaction called as BP. Only SD module in the ERP was using customer master. Now what happened? This everything was sitting in HANA database. See, we used to create customer here, and asynchronously we used to transfer that data to GTS system or FSCM like this, right? But now all these applications are now sitting on HANA. That means if you again get this same customer master and business partner, it is again a duplication. See, you have all the tables, KN tables, all the KN tables are there here. Still, it's there in HANA. HANA, that BP tables also is available. HANA, this customer master tables has not been removed yet. Tomorrow session we'll learn that. Okay. So when it is coming here in the HANA sitting on the same thing, why again you need to have a customer master? Let us do it this way, which is used most in the industry. Foreign trade has been completely removed in S4 HANA. Why? You have GTS. Now it's mandatory to go to GTS. Foreign trade is no more supported in S4 HANA. Credit management has been removed from S4 HANA. One good thing for SD consultants. You know credit management, right? But credit management, now it's no more part of S4 HANA. Output determination, we used to work on NEST, right? That has been now working on BRF plus and OPD transactions. Lots of things like this SAP has simplified. Why SAP has removed this credit manage from sales and distribution? You see, if this is HANA system, if I go to credit management, node is available. You see, credit management is available, but you see there is no execution icon of something. Only document is available. When I click document, what it says? It says that you should pretty much aware that this has been removed and it has been given to financial supply chain management, FSCM credit management. Is it new? Do you think is it new that credit management now is part of what we call FSCM module? No, it is not new. Credit management was part of FSCM module since year 2005. It was part of year 2005, but we use it in the ERP, that ECC, right? We use it, SD consultants, we used to configure this credit management. But now SAP has mandatorily made it that no more credit management in the SD module. Whatever you already have it in the FSCM module, you should use it. Why? Why you should use it? Why can't you use the same thing what's there in the earlier? Because credit management is not a standalone concept anymore. It was not a standalone concept. That means you create an order for customer, okay, whether customer having enough credit balance or not, okay, immediately block the order or release the order. No, it is not a standalone now. Credit management need to be interfaced with lots of external applications. You know our good guys who left the countries with a huge bank debts, right? Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi, right? Yeah. If you have some integrations with some credit agencies, what happens? Whenever you create some order or if he is suspicious, immediately system will alert you saying that the red corner notice is issued against this customer or arrest warrant is issued against this customer. You have this option of getting data from these external interfaces, but that option was not there here. We are working standalone. We are just only checking whether the customer has credit balance or not. That's it. If he is there, we are happy. But we are not seeing the future, or we are not seeing out of box what's happening, how their companies are performing, what is the credit rating given to their company, is it A plus or A, or they have put it down to C, C minus. This where you will get this data, you will get it from external sources. We need to connect to that. It's not possible here. So now SAP has made it as mandatory. Got it? This is one change. Foreign trade. Very few customers are using this foreign trade in the ECC. When very few customers are using, why we need to carry the same junk? Let us scrap it. We have a very good module called as GTS. If you want this foreign trade, then go for GTS, not foreign trade. Right. So there are lots of simplification happened like this at the concepts and the ECC level also. It's not just SAP has rewritten whatever the database or something. It has taken care everything whatever you need for a today's business or a future business as well, not only today's business. Okay, so yeah, we'll conclude it. It's more than 2.5 hours. I was continuously talking for 2.5 hours. So yeah, this is what. So what all you get, what is the takeaway of the training? As I told you, I'll be helping in the certification. I showed you the documents, the way of preparing the certification and everything. I'll show you. And you will get all the study materials. As you know, my strength is study materials. I support everything with a document. You name a concept, material ledger, you have a document. See, some folders are blank because you really don't have, they are in the air. Okay, the changes what happened is in the air. We don't need a separate document for that. So pricing, what changed? What is the access sequence number length earlier? Anyone? Access sequence length. What is the transaction for access sequence? V/07, right? If I want to create access sequence with a number called as what is it? Not okay. We need to. Okay, I'll create some quickly something.
4-digit.
The table length or this length. What is this length? Only 2-digit, 99. You cannot enter more than this. You cannot enter more than this. But now in the S4 HANA, now it has made it as 3 digits. This UI itself is very weird actually. So it should be anything, right? I'll type it as ZPQO. Okay. And if I select this and go to accesses and go to new entries, now this table number you can see 3 digits. This is not possible in the ECC. It was only restricted 2 digits. If you go to pricing procedure V/08 and if you want to use the counters, I'll just take some procedure randomly, and if you go to control, click here, counter, only 2 digits. You see I'm pressing 9 but it's not taking. But in the S4 counter has been increased to 3 digits. I'm just doing something random and new entries. You see now if I go to counter, I can enter 3 digits, right? So these are the some changes. See, for this I don't need to give a document, right? If I show it, it's enough. I can tell you KNOV table has been changed to PRD underscore elements. So that's the reason for some concepts you don't see a document, but for some I support it with a huge. If you take business partner, you see how many documents I'll be giving, and some are real-time documents. I recommend, please don't share with anyone. Don't disclose. You know why I'm not showing you all the documents? I'm just taking only some image or something and I'm showing here, right? Because it is very new in the industry, right? Still projects are under construction. I cannot disclose certain documents. That's the reason I'm not showing you the documents. Okay. Once you confirm and join the class, you get all these things, okay, but at that time please don't share or don't disclose. It is only for your purpose. Yeah, that's it from my side. I hope I have shared enough knowledge. So yeah, we'll conclude it today. Any questions?
Praveen, please share the videos as early as possible.
Sure, Madhuri. Yeah, at least one day time. Okay. And this is like a reunion for me. It's not like a new batch for me. I know all of you. Most of the guys I know from my ST, so it's just like a reunion.
Yeah.
Yeah, any questions? Go ahead. So tomorrow we will discuss the business partner complete, no theoretical tomorrow. So today we are run completely theoretical because as I told you, I cannot show what is a parallel processing. I cannot show you what is a core, right? So it's only understanding of the concept. But tomorrow we will go to system and we'll have complete hands-on on the BP transaction. We'll create BP and we'll see tables where the data is getting updated. What's the difference between the customer master BP? Everything we'll discuss tomorrow. Complete practical session tomorrow.
And server access, when it's going to be started, Praveen?
Yeah, so once the fees is paid, the confirmations is done immediately.
Okay, that also I wanted to check the bank details. Can you just mail?
Yeah, you can call me or else I will WhatsApp you. Okay.
Yeah, no problem. WhatsApp is fine. So today we'll
So as you know, I allow anyone to attend first 2 sessions, even my SD class also. Then they can decide and come back. So we'll have today's and tomorrow session finished. In the next week, Monday, Tuesdays, if everyone can confirm. So pay the fees. I'll send you the documents and the videos. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah. So any other questions? Anyone? And Lakshmi, can you hear me? Lakshmi, you there?
Yes, Praveen, I can hear you very much.
Okay, so yeah, how was the session? You were able to understand?
Yes, I am able to understand, Praveen. It's very nice.
No,
Yeah,
you got the clarity, I hope, right? You got the clarity of what exactly the difference of ECC and HANA and everything.
Yes, very much clear. I like your teachings very much. Yes.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Go ahead. Any other questions? Anyone? Yeah, and please send me a test
even
mail.
tomorrow also on the
Sunil,
same
Sunil.
time.
Yes, timing is same, but please send me a test mail who want to attend tomorrow because I have sent only one class link to you guys, right? So who